Hi, Mr. Sutton. What's up? This is Nate,
And Jason.
and we're going to talk about outsourcing.
Outsourcing car manufacturing specifically.
That's right. Now, Jason, let's get on with the presentation.
Okay, Nate.
Jason, do you know what outsourcing is?
Yeah, Nate. It's when companies move their business to another country to save money.
That's correct. According to dictionary.com, outsourcing is when a company subcontracts to another company.
Well, where do these countries subcontract to?
America is known for outsourcing to BRIC countries.
What is BRIC? What are countries that are part of BRIC?
BRIC stands for Brazil, Russia, India, and China. These four countries are the four main countries that America outsources to.
Why do American companies outsource to these countries? Why do they outsource at all?
There are many reasons American companies outsource to BRIC and other countries. Companies are all about reducing costs to maximize profit. Sometimes companies outsource because the area they are going to can help reduce labor costs, be closer to the market or the resources, or be closer to skilled workers.
Is there any other reasons?
Yeah, a lot actually. Companies outsource to increase production, increase capital, improve product quality, focus on the core business, and create a quicker turnaround time.
Wow, outsourcing sounds like a great idea. Why don't all companies outsource jobs?
Despite all the good things about outsourcing, there are bad things too.
Like what?
Well, for one, outsourcing hurts the U.S. economy because jobs are being sent overseas. Also, the language differences between countries can result in problems ranging from bad customer service to inappropriate quantity of product produced.
Wow, I'm glad that you're teaching me some of the pros and cons of outsourcing. I feel like I have a basic understanding of the topic now.
Do you think you're ready to dig deeper into the topic?
Yes, I do, Nate.
Well, buckle up, Jason, as we begin to talk about how car manufacturers are outsourcing. So, Jason, out of all the car manufacturers in the world, which do you think are the top 3 companies that outsource?
I have no idea, Nate.
Well, the answer is Ford, Chrysler, and General Motors, better known as GM. Ironically enough, these 3 companies sell the most cars to Americans than any other company, yet most of the cars are made by outsourced jobs. Now, looking at GM in specific, what percent of their jobs do you think are outsourced to foreign countries?
My best guess would have to probably be 40%.
It was a good guess, but the actual percent of jobs outsourced by GM is 80%. That means that only 20% of GM's cars are made in America.
Wow, that was unexpected.
It surprised me too. However, I was most shocked when I found out where most of GM's outsourced jobs were going.
Where are the jobs being sent to, Nate?
Mexico. GM has about 86,000 jobs in America and about 115,000 jobs in Mexico. To make matters worse, the General Motors monthly report states GM heralds its upcoming billion-dollar investment into its Mexico's plant, compared to the $100 million investment into its American plants.
Wow, I can't believe GM would outsource so many jobs and put so much money into Mexico. What's so great about Mexico anyway?
Mexico has very low labor costs, for one thing. Also, a lot of people are unemployed in Mexico, so there are many people willing to work. Another reason why GM is outsourcing to Mexico is because the Mexican government is making it easy to obtain capital.
Is there any more reasons? That doesn't seem like enough to outsource thousands of jobs to Mexico.
One more reason comes from GM's president and CEO. He has said that 75 years ago, General Motors came to Mexico with the dream to fulfill, turning Mexico into a prosperous nation for the benefit of millions of families. Today, after 75 years into the adventure, we have achieved goals that seem unattainable, thanks to the efforts and dedication of Mexican talent.
So basically, GM is outsourcing to make more money and to improve Mexico's economy.
You hit it right on the head.
What are some of the consequences that will result from the outsourcing of American jobs to Mexico?
There could be terrible effects. Thousands of Americans will go unemployed, according to the New York Times. GM has shuttered plants since 2005, and its bankruptcy-mandated restructuring plan called for the company to shed 22,500 U.S. jobs and 13 plants. Meanwhile, the company has invested $3.67 billion into the Mexican production and built a new plant there. If production increases to the point that GM needs to create thousands of jobs, they most likely won't be in America.
I think I know another bad thing that will happen if GM continues to outsource.
Well, what is it?
Well, due to agglomeration, more car manufacturers will outsource jobs to foreign countries.
Yeah, Jason, that's another consequence. Finally, outsourcing does not support people who want a higher education. Why should people bother with college when their job is going to go to a man in Mexico? This is also a problem because America will not continue to be a global competitor when its people aren't well educated.
Again, wow, outsourcing needs to stop.
I know. For America to remain as an economic powerhouse, things need to change.
Is the government doing anything to help reduce the number of outsourced jobs?
No, they are not.
John.
The U.S. government is doing nothing to stop outsourcing because very little can be done. The only thing the federal government can do is try to persuade companies that outsourcing decreases the number of customers.
The U.S. government can't do anything else?
One drastic thing the U.S. government can do is cut off all trade with foreign companies. This, however, would not work in the long run because America doesn't have everything it needs to sustain itself. Another thing the federal government could do is place high taxes on products that are created by outsourced jobs, but this would just lead to inflated prices for all products.
Outsourcing needs to stop now.
Thousands of people will go unemployed, and the future of the economy and the country will be in jeopardy if outsourcing does not stop.
Something needs to be done today.
Thanks for listening, Mr. Sutton.
Hopefully you'll give us an A+.